Hello friends, and welcome back to another vlog. Today's video is a little different from what we usually do. I recently went on a trip to Venice in Italy and decided that I wanted to take you guys with me, so I grabbed my camera and filmed as much as I could. We rented an Airbnb in this beautiful building, and our apartment faced the canals, and waking up here was honestly so beautiful. The soft morning light, the sound of water, and all the little boats gently passing by outside my bedroom window. It's a kind of peaceful start to the day that makes you want to slow down and savor everything. We found this charming little cafe right by the water for breakfast. My meal ended up being a margarita focaccia, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. But anyways, it was really good. And it's a kind of simple food that just feels really special because of where you are, if that makes sense. After breakfast, we hopped on a little taxi boat to explore the city. And Venice is just so unique. I guess the word unique is really the word I would use to describe a city like this. The only way to get around is by boats. No cars, no buses, just canals waving through the city like streets. The boats here don't exactly run on a strict schedule, but honestly, that was part of the charm. We weren't in a hurry, luckily, and that slower pace fit perfectly with this atmosphere. After the water taxi ride, the first thing we explored was Piazza San Marco, which in English is called St. Mark's Square. The architecture here is just incredible. It dates all the way back to the 9th century, and even though it was packed with tourists, you could just feel the history in every corner of this place. Venice is truly a hub for art in every form. It's everywhere you look, from the grand buildings to the tiniest details tucked away in the little streets. The narrow alleyways where you can almost touch both sides of the buildings at the same time are so unique to this place. I've only ever experienced anything like this in Barcelona, but Venice has its own special charm, I think. Now, as much as I really love Italian food, I have to admit that I wasn't blown away this time, and I guess it might have something to do with the fact that we're in a really touristy place. It was a little disappointing for a big foodie like me, but I still got to try a variety of dishes, which was really nice. There's something about walking around in a place like this where so much has happened over the centuries, and it just makes you feel so small, but in the best way possible. After walking around in the streets in my little heels, which was such a bad shoe choice for this trip, we got something to eat and continued exploring Venice for a few hours. To wrap up the day, we ended up back at St. Mark's Square for a couple of hot, cozy drinks at this really beautiful cafe. The atmosphere was just incredible. Live music, the soft glow of the evening lights, and the energy of the people just enjoying the moment. It was the perfect way to soak up in the magic of Venice. Then we grabbed the water bus and went back to our little island. I spent the whole time standing on the deck watching the moon and the city lights and the water. It was such a nice evening, and we were really lucky with the weather. I enjoy spending time looking my best, so I started off the day doing my hair and makeup and found a cute outfit for our second day in Venice. This day was dedicated to soaking up more of the city and reflect on what it means to explore somewhere new. For me, traveling isn't just about seeing new places, it's about stepping away from your everyday surroundings and allowing yourself to think differently. I really enjoy documenting my travels, and I actually started making videos like this of my trips even before YouTube. Something most people don't know about me is that I'm actually really scared of water, at least being in large bodies of water, so spending so much time on these small water taxis and water buses was a little bit of a personal challenge for me. I wish I could say that I felt safe while sailing around the canals, but the Italians are crazy when it comes to banging the boat against the quay, so the people almost flew overboard. We found this really nice tiramisu cafe while exploring the island of Murano, and for information, Murano is known for their glass craft. Italy has so many cute little cafes and stores, and I really enjoyed exploring places like these. Obviously, we had to do a little bit of shopping, even though I actually just ended up buying gifts for my family and nothing for myself. Walking through the narrow streets, passing by quiet canals and little shops, it hit me how much creativity is rooted in observation. Just taking the time to notice how people live, the details in the architecture, or even the way the light filters through the buildings, it all feeds into how you see the world. We attended a glass blowing demonstration, which was so cool. These glass artists are just extremely talented, and we were mesmerized by their craft. Even though the guy doing this glass craft seemed like he couldn't care less. He was probably really, really tired. This might have been a really touristy thing to do, but it was really interesting getting insight in this ancient Italian craft. I'm sure these glass blowers could do this in their sleep, but watching their hands work so precisely, shaping something so delicate as this, I mean, this is glass, right? It's so fragile. That was really amazing to see. This kind of dedication and skill up close always leaves me feeling inspired, so I'm really, really happy we had the opportunity to do this. I think it's amazing how seeing someone else's craft can spark ideas of your own, whether it's glass blowing or painting or cooking or sculpting like me. There's always something to take away. After taking the boat back into the city, we found a cozy little restaurant for dinner. The menu was, of course, filled with Italian classics, so I had to order pasta. It was honestly so good, you guys. I'd been waiting to try their pasta all day, and it did not disappoint this time. After dinner, we went to a classical concert in this beautiful cathedral. It was easily one of the most incredible concerts I've ever experienced. We found a taxi boat and went home and ended the day playing cards together. It was such a cozy way to end the night, just laughing and enjoying the moment together. Those little memories always seem to stick with me the most. Our last day in Venice came too quickly, but I guess that's how it always feels when you're somewhere this beautiful, right? We spent the morning packing up our things and tidying up the apartment, which honestly made me a little sad. There's something bittersweet about leaving a space that you've started to feel comfortable in, even if it's just for a few days. Waking up to the sound of the canals and being surrounded by so much history and beauty, it's not something I take for granted. I'm really grateful that I have the means to take trips like these, but I don't think traveling is necessary to find inspiration or have meaningful experiences for that matter. It's more about how you show up for yourself every day. Taking time for yourself, even in the middle of your usual routines, can have the same effect as a vacation. Prioritizing what your body and soul need, whether it's a quiet moment with a book or a walk outside or simply saying no to something you know that drains you, that can be just as much clarity and peace. Traveling might shake things up a little, but you don't need a plane ticket to take care of yourself or feel renewed. Some of the most meaningful moments can happen right here where you are, as long as you're open to seeing them. At least that's my point of view. Anyways, we finished up our breakfast and spent a few hours absorbing and exploring our surroundings. It felt like every little shop had something beautiful and interesting to offer. I mean, look at this pasta. This pasta is beautiful. I feel like I've had a creative blockade the past few months, which probably is connected to us moving back to Denmark, but I feel like all the art, all the beautiful places and architecture in Venice has given me a little spark back. For me, traveling is about how these experiences expand my perspective and inspire me in ways that I didn't expect. Once we finished exploring, it was time to grab our suitcases and head to the airport. We walked through the little streets to find a taxi, and let me tell you, my feet were so sore from all the walking we'd done the past few days. The airport was only about 20 minutes away, so the ride was short and easy. We got there, we got our boarding passes, grabbed some snacks, because who doesn't need snacks for a flight, and we made our way to the gate. The plane ride back to Denmark was only about 2.5 hours, which wasn't bad at all, and I guess that's it. I am so happy you guys decided to tag along for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.